Now, the first item, if you will, is 2501 Trenton Avenue. This is a request for a use permit to allow an addition which increases the gross floor area by greater than 50% and would exceed 55% floor area ratio per sections 12230B1 and 12230B2 of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Lisa, report please.
Thank you. Good evening. The item before you is a request for a conditional use permit, and as introduced, there are two reasons for the use permit. One is that it's an increase greater than 50%, and the second is that it does exceed the floor area standard for the property. The applicant is requesting a first and second story addition to the existing single-story home. The addition would be 888 square feet in area, and that would result in the total floor area for the home at 2,569 square feet. The property would include 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a kitchen, living room, and dining room. The second floor does also have a rear deck on it. This item was discussed before the Architecture Review Committee at its March meeting, and at that meeting we did have one neighbor express concern with the property. Specifically, was concerned with how the addition would impact his home with the light with the second story, as well as kind of the mass as you were entering the property. As you noted from your site inspection, many of the properties on this block have side entrances, and so the addition would be to the side where his front door is to his home. The applicant does propose some modifications to the front of the house that would include a new front porch and reorienting the door to the front of the home as opposed to the side as it is now. Following the Architecture Review Committee, Aaron Acton and I met with the applicant and their architect to discuss some of the concerns expressed at the meeting, and they have agreed to make some further revisions since the Architecture Review Committee to lower the height of the front element above the vaulted living room, to have a lower roof line at that side. That also does have a lower view as when viewed from the neighboring property, so it does reduce that perceived bulk and the impact from their property. They also agreed to reduce the size of the window at the second-story nursery, and that was another concern expressed by that neighbor. So staff does appreciate the steps taken by the applicant to address those concerns and meet the recommendations of staff.
Thank you.
Staff is supportive of the use permit. Would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Are you done now? Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun.
I think,
And through the chair,
Go ahead.
I'd just like to reiterate what Lisa said and compliment the homeowners as well as the architect in responding to some of the neighbors' concerns, as well as responding to some of our comments. I think they went a long way to make it a better addition for the overall neighborhood.
Great. Thank you, and thank them. Okay, does any of the commissioners have any questions of staff? Okay, seeing none at this time,
Thank you.
would the applicant please step forward and give us your name and street, please?
Good evening. My name is Luis Robles. I'm the architect for the project. And basically, I don't know if you got a chance to look at what we were proposing. And if you have any questions regarding that, Lisa did what an excellent job presenting the project. The only thing that I say regarding the conditions, number 15, is about the tree. We already have a street tree there that was planted 3 years ago by the city of San Bruno. You can see that on page
Page 8.
On page 12 also, you can see the photograph that you can see the tree in the front. It's a evergreen pear tree, so it always stays green. And it's about 14 feet tall. So that's one of the items that we would like to say that if we could just put on our plans when we sign this off that we already have done this.
Okay.
And then basically I think that was about it. If you have any questions regarding the project, I'm here to answer.
And now is the time. Any commissioners have any questions of
Through the chair,
Commissioner Peterson?
to address the applicant's question about that tree, staff, can you give an opinion on that, or do you have to examine the tree closer?
What I think we could do is we could meet with the Public Works Director and see if this is a circumstance where the requirement can be waived. It's a standard condition within the municipal code that anytime you improve your home by more than 25%, you have to plant a street tree. So we'll see a situation when a recent street tree has been planted, that requirement can be waived.
Thank you.
Any other questions of either staff or the applicant? Okay, seeing none, I will now open it up to public comment. Anybody from the public wishing to speak on this item, please come to the podium and state your name and street. Seeing nobody's rushing there, I will close public comment and bring it back to the commissioners for discussion action. Anything?
Through the chair.
Yes, Commissioner Biasotti.
Exhibit D says San Mateo County checklist, sustainable checklist. I want to compliment the applicant on the ideas that they're going to incorporate into this project. And is this something that we created, or is this from the applicant?
The applicant did submit this.
I like that.
Yeah.
If we could do that with the other applications, that would be great as well.
Great.
Especially where it includes, it says these items will become part of the building permit. I think that's a great idea, having them accept that.
Great.
So, okay.
Any other activity here from the commissioners? Okay.
Through the
So,
chair,
Commissioner Peterson.
I'd like to move that the Planning Commission approve use permit 10-3 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 24.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Just, I have a question on the motion. There's that issue on
No, the
fact
city's,
number
the
50.
city's gonna, there's still a condition in there. The city can waive it if they feel needed.
So should we have that so noted then? And
No, it's still a condition.
It'll be noted in the minutes, and I'll meet with the Public Works Director and Lewis next week to go over it.
okay. All right, we have a motion.
On the subject, I'd like to put in the record that I was at the architectural review meeting. We went over this quite a bit and brought up a number of issues that I think the designer and applicant dealt with energetically with staff and with the neighbors. And there's relatively little comment on this item at this time, but I think it's because of the heavy homework. Thank you.
Through the
Okay.
chair,
Yes,
I do have a question. In the staff report, it indicated that that the applicant is willing to reduce the size. Now, does that reflect it in the plans, or is that, it's fully reflected?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted that clarification.
okay, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, there are none.
Thank you.
It passes, and there's a 10-day appeal period. And you guys should be congratulated on a good job. Really did do a good job.
Well done.
Thank you.